In the NBA as well, as we're getting closer and closer to the regular season, the preseason MVP.
Yeah, it's all right.
Letters right. Conversation has come out. So we got some odds on these. So you've got the leaders in the clubhouse are the usual suspects. So you got Giannis coming off an MVP, plus 350. You got Anthony Davis now on the Lakers, plus 500. Steph Curry, all of a sudden going to ask to carry a lot more of the workload for the Warriors, plus 550. James Harden, always in the conversation at plus 700. Jokic is coming in the conversation at plus 1,000 for Denver. LeBron and Kawhi, both at 1,200, plus 1,200. I think those are the value plays. And I think it might be a steal at those numbers, considering all those other names ahead of them.
So you know more about the value for the betting.
Right.
I will just say that when I first eyeballed this list, LeBron being below AD as significantly as he is was eye-opening for me, right? So I think that supports what you're saying. Like, there's probably value there. Same with Kawhi. I also think that Kyrie, I agree with Joey, being at plus 6,000 is really interesting when you consider you've got names on here that are part of duos, and the whole duo is ahead of him, right? And you would imagine, usually in that scenario, one cancels the other out, right? Or they kind of cannibalize each other, like they eat up each other's votes. So you got like James Harden plus 700 and Russell Westbrook plus 2,500. So that stuck out to me. Those were the two things that stuck out. Even Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are both ahead of Kyrie. That was kind of interesting looking at that.
Let me look up some, because I was curious to know for the Nets, could it impact Kyrie without Kevin Durant this year if he's carrying the workload, but they're not that good?
Well, I would
like that could hurt him. I was looking at their win total set at 45. That's not awful.
Not that I'm comparing. I mean, Steph and Kyrie. I don't want to get into that, but Steph is going to be on a worse team than he's been on in the last couple of years.
Right.
His MVP odds are probably higher than they've been in the last few years because he's going to have the ball, he's going to have the platform, and if they're going to be successful, he's going to do the lion's share of the work, right? Like, and I've been on here saying, man, this is going to be great. Like, you're going to get to see Steph. So I'd make the same case probably for Kyrie. Now,
although I would say he's just coming out of a situation where I think we can all maybe agree. You tell me if you disagree. That Kyrie's better served as not the lead guy, like the lead guy.
No, you're right. It's probably an indictment.
Maybe that's what Vegas is looking at.
Right. Look. Kyrie is such a unique talent with the ball in his hands that while it's not meant for every team, like Brad Stevens clearly, it's not his fault. It's just it didn't fit his style, Brad Stevens' style and Kyrie's style. I do think that there are teams out there that can incorporate what Kyrie does offensively, and they can be really successful doing it. But it's going to require a certain roster and a certain type of offensive philosophy to do that, if that makes sense. Do you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to just say that, Kyrie as the number one isn't going to be able to produce wins. I do think championship level he's probably a number two, but you can still win a lot of games and be a good playoff team with him being the number one. You just have to play a certain way and be willing to do that.
Yeah, but I think part of what's interesting with this number, to your point, they're probably still going to win games, but Vegas, we talk about it all the time, Vegas gets things right, and it would be, like, if I'm a Nets fan or if I'm just trying to figure out how the Nets are going to be this year, we're talking about those back half of the East playoff teams, you would think, even without KD, for all intents and purposes, Kyrie is an upgrade on D'Lo, and they were good last year, but Vegas doesn't think Kyrie is going to be one of the top even 10 players in the league this year. So are they going to be that much better with Kyrie? It would be, I'm not saying Vegas makes me concerned, but Vegas gets these things right a lot.
They do. Oftentimes they look at.
You could look at it two ways, right? You could say Vegas thinks that Brooklyn's going to backslide with Kyrie, therefore he's not going to be in the MVP conversation. Or maybe Vegas thinks that Brooklyn will be good, but Kyrie is just not going to try to double down on what he did last year,
right?
And will be more a part of the collective team than the star of the team. It's glass half empty or glass half full type of conversation.
You know what my money's on?
What's that?
I'm going for NBA history, baby. Plus 10,000. My man Zion Williamson. It's only been done twice. Wes Unseld and Wilt Chamberlain, the only other NBA rookies to win MVP.
Right.
I'm all in. I'm taking it value.
Man. I'm not even dignifying that. I'm not dignifying.
I'm just messing with you.
No, but he's not going to win MVP.
if he's an all-star,
I was going to say he could
Right.
want to be an all-star.
That's where I think
Good.
interesting odds would be if you get him in the all-star game. Because, again, hype matters. And he's got
Yeah.
all the hype in the world, and his preseason's been pretty solid.
He's going to have numbers. They're
Yeah.
going to push pace. He's got a bunch of guys that are willing passers. If they can create space and let him get to the rim, he's going to have stupid numbers.
He's not going to – I agree. He's not going to get it. But I will say he probably has the best chance in a long time because they're going to be pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to be – they could be a playoff team. Like, it's been a while since we had a Rookie of the Year, stud Rookie of the – I guess Ben Simmons probably – they were decent. No, they weren't even decent in his rookie year. Like, it's been a while since we had, like, a transcendent type of player on a playoff team in his rookie year.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of unique for him. And look, I mean, LeBron comes to mind because he always had the ball in his hands, and when they dropped him into Cleveland, they just put the ball in his hands and said, hey, do what you've been doing at St. Vincent, St. Mary's. Like, this is just make it what you want it to be, right? There haven't been a lot of guys that you just drop them in as rookies into the perfect situation for their game, and Zion will be in that, a wide open, fast-paced, floor-spaced environment with a bunch of guys who can really pass the ball and don't want to make like the highlight assist all the time. They just want to get it up to you and let you finish in transition. So it's really tailor-made for what he does right now as a player.
Hey, if I took flyers on Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr for NFL MVP, I'm going to take a flyer on Zion just in case.
Can I say one more? Like, I want to talk just one more second. We got to go to break. Did either one of you guys see the video of Giannis shooting threes the other day in practice?
No.
So I said yesterday with Tommy that I thought Giannis would have a slight hangover from the MVP, and we were talking about the Eastern Conference supremacy. I probably read that wrong. First of all, he's not really wired like that. He's a hungry type of hungry to be the best, hungry to win championships type of guy. And I watched this video of him shooting the ball, and while there's no one out there with him and he's just shooting, you could tell that he's put a lot of work into shooting jumpers and becoming a fluid jump shooter. And if that cat gets a jump shot and he's proficient from behind the line,
Good luck.
Good luck with that.